Hey everybody! So I am going to show you a few more ways to think about making plates. Okay, let's get started. So if you have graph paper, that's a really handy tool to help you map out your design. If you don't, you can just use computer paper and just square it up yourself without drawing the grids, or you could do like what I did here and just do your own grid pattern by measuring it out with a ruler. So for this, I have a lid that goes to a plastic container. So I'm trying to give you guys tips to find some stuff that you might have around your house, since we are homebound right now with COVID-19. And I'm just gonna place this, and I am using graph paper so I can count the squares to make sure I am in the middle of this paper. And then once I get in the middle, I'm gonna just make a traced line around this. And then I'm going to proceed to fold this in half. And then I'm gonna fold it in half again. The reason I do the trace line is so I can still see about where my form would be, where like the serving area of the plate or the tray would be. And then I'm gonna work on creating a border. Taking my scissors, you could draw something out with a Sharpie or a pencil if you'd like to, or you could just start cutting a design. And then you can open this up and see if you're happy with the design. If you're not, go ahead and just refold it and cut a little bit more. I did another one earlier, so you can see this one I did map it out. I used the inside of a tape roll and placed it, and then just traced with the Sharpie to the inside of that tape roll to create some lobes after I had folded. So I folded it, put the tape roll in, traced some lobes, and then cut it from there. So you could find some things you have around to do some tracing if you would like. Once you have a template that you're happy with, you want to get your slab. You can go back and watch the video I posted. I show you guys how to roll out a slab if you don't have access to a slab roller or a rolling pin. This down. If you come up with a template that you really like, you could transfer it onto tar paper or onto a file folder, something that's a little bit of a thicker material, so your template would be more resilient. So you can use it again and 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 again forever. Okay, so I'm just tracing this all the way around with my needle tool, and then with your X-Acto or your scalpel, let's just start to cut this out. And I'm not gonna worry about being perfect, because you can clean up these edges a bit more after you make your form. Okay, now we have it all cut out. I'm gonna go ahead and just soften these edges. So I just dipped my finger in water, and I'm just applying a little pressure. Do make sure that if you have any places where you cut a little bit too far in that lobed area, that you push a little, compress a little clay down into there, because you could end up getting a crack that wants to continue through onto your form. And then flip and proceed to do the same thing. If you don't have any foam and your form is small enough, you could use a larger sponge. Your form would have to be a little bit smaller to be able to fit into this. I covered the foam with saran wrap. The only reason I did that is because I don't use red clay normally in my home studio, so I'm just trying to keep everything clear of the red clay. The molds that we use at school are made of wood or plaster, so the clay is gonna release from them. This is made from a hard plastic, so the clay might wanna stick. So I am just covering the clay with saran wrap to help it release more quickly. Now I'm just going to center this shape in the middle of my clay slab. And I'm gonna apply pressure down. This foam has a little more strength to it, so I'm kind of wiggling back and forth, coming to the top, coming to the back, and just making sure it's really pushed down. Now I can peel this away, and you'll see I've created a nice plate form. It's kind of more like a tray, but you certainly could use it as a plate. If you want more of a traditional plate, then design around a circular form. But there it is, folks. Okay, see you next time.